fun just with soda bottles, but you can. So plug the sink because we don't want to waste the water. We're just going to do this over and over. I like to use 1 liter bottles because they're easier to get your hands around. And so you fill them up with water, and then you challenge the kids. You say, how fast can you dump out all the water?
How fast can you dump out all that water?
So you try it. Ready?
Oh,
so
good.
how fast can you dump out the water? When you turn it upside down, watch what happens. Air comes in, water comes out. Air comes in, water comes out. If you put a hole in here, then the air would come in and the water would push out, and that would go faster. But if you take an average 1 liter bottle, it takes about 8 or 10 seconds for you to dump all the water out. So if you could be tricky, and I know you can, if you could part the waters, if you could have the air and the water kind of go at the same time and go fast, that would be pretty cool.
That'd be great.
So here's the technique that you got to practice. Great toy for the bathtub, all right? So you put your hand on top, do as I do, all right? So put your hand on top, good job, turn it upside down, all right? So now what you're going to do is this, you're going to give a little spinning action like this. So centripetal force, a little spinning action, pull your hand out of the way and watch what you get. Get this beautiful vortex. Is that fun?
Oh, that is faster.
Nice. So great, about 4 seconds for the whole bottle.
That is,
so
that's a lot faster.
If you look at it, the air comes up, the water comes down. The air comes up, and so it's an old dishwasher trick. See how that works?
Ah, I see.
See? Now, there was a guy years ago by the name of Craig Burnham, and Craig's in Salem, Massachusetts, who invented this classic science toy called a tornado tube. So he invented this when he was 7 years old, and he didn't have this kind of thing. He was just trying to make an hourglass. So he had 2 bottles, and he had sand, and it didn't work. And like any good man, you had 7 years old, you put the 2 bottles together, and you wrap them with duct tape, and none of that works and everything. And resorted to water in a little washer that was on the top. And the bottom line was that in 1986, he filed for the patent on this thing called a tornado tube, and this became one of the most popular science toys in the whole world. And so there's some things to be able to do with it, but take a look at this. As you look here, notice how the water doesn't move at all because air is in the bottom.
Oh, I see.
Isn't that fun?
So it's
So
creating a vacuum block, right?
Yeah, so the air is pushing up, and so he said when you teach teachers to do this, realize that this is what he looked at for a long time. It wasn't until being frustrated that finally there was a little bit of motion there, watch this, and all of a sudden you got your tornado.
Now you're releasing the air.
Yeah, is that kind of fun?
Air goes in, water goes out.
So let me show you some variations that I think that are kind of fun. This was from a 7-year-old years ago who was in one of our science camps, and she said, can you color the air? You can color the water with food coloring, but can you color the air? And she just put a little squirt of Dawn dish soap inside, so now when you spin it like this, take a look at that, you now have this vortex.
Look at
as the water goes down, the bubbles go up, and I thought that was kind of cool.
That is really cool.
My favorite one of all time.
That's just dish soap in there?
Just dish soap. My favorite one of all time is this one here. I'm just using lamp oil. So I went to the department store and got some lamp oil.
Right.
Lamp oil is the secret because it has the same thicknesses as water.
Oil and water don't mix.
You're right. And so now I can tell you that Miss Spangler has every oil known to humankind in the house for us to figure this one out. But watch what happens when we turn it upside down and we spin. Because of the density difference, you now define just the vortex.
Oh,
Isn't that pretty?
that is very cool.
So you just kind of define the vortex in your set.